Hello, this is Meta, and this is a stream where I talk about everything besides the drawing itself. Tonight, we are going to be looking at historical references for poses. League of Legends edition, because I just kind of wanted to use some classics. And also, I didn't want to be Germa posing again for the 50th time this week. I mean, I feel like I've curbed my Germa posing addiction, but like it's whenever I want to just like take it easy, it's like the first thing that I'm like, yeah, this is all right, this is okay. I mean, like it's a fine thing to do, but it's just a habit that I like to, try and break, as it were. So, I've got a couple references lined up, and we're gonna see if we like any of them. With that, let me get into it here. So, I mean, we've got a lot to choose from. Well, even just without the four I chose or whatever. But we've got the Pieta here. We've got the Birth of Venus. And we've got God and Man. Yeah. Art is dead. Thanks for the spoiler. Thanks, buddy. I'm not quite sure what I want to do. Because, having a canvas that is so stretched is nice. And I'm just kind of pose thiefing. I'm not really trying to totally take the exact meanings from these pieces of art, but it is a little bit hard to go for them all, But these coming up this coming up week or whatever is when we are going to be doing the marathon, so look forward to that. I was thinking about streaming Soda Drinker Pro or something, but then I realized that I didn't have the fucking game, and I didn't want to pay money for it, because, it was a whole, $3, and I don't... That's so stupid, out of context. I'm pretty sure it's a little bit more than that, but do I want to pay that much for a game that I'm not going to play that often? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, we can talk about everything since Skarner's fully released. Well, not fully released to the PBE or whatever. But, we've got all of... it's weird that the April Fool's skin line is the one where we've, decided to try this year. It's real early into the year, though, but, I can't really remember, a skin line where I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, exactly. The April Fool's skins are just they're so good. They're so good. I don't. It's weird that they put this much effort into these joke skins, especially since we're so used to the cats versus dogs theme. To me, those are such mediocre skins. They are so mediocre. Even with the mid ones like Zack Cheese and Twitch Cheese, they're at least interesting. Yeah, I mean, like, they just they understand that they have to, like, do work, which is, like, nice. Yeah, Twitch looks like Pyramid Head, and it's kind of rad. I think it's really funny that Twitch looks like Pyramid Head. He's got, like, a little cheese knife in his tail. It's, like, it is so fucking cute. Like, it is so cute. Like, and Zach is, like, a frat bro, but is also cheese dip. Like, that's really fun. He's also, like, kind of a mascot for the cheese dip itself. Like, you know, it's really hard to make Zach skins, so, you know, I do applaud them for actually, like, not just making him cheese and calling it a day. They could have just so easily just made him fucking orange and called it a day, but they didn't, which I appreciate, you know? Even though it's not like, I don't play Zach, I don't play him, but, like, yeah, there is an orange Zach chroma. Exactly. I mean, like, it's just so hard. I mean, because you have to have slimy things. You have to have goop and different forms of goop in order to have a Zach skin. What are the other Zach skins even? I know that he's got, like, Battlecast or something like that. Not Battlecast, but it's like he's molten lava in one of them. Terminator one, yeah. I mean, like, special weapons Zach is just kind of feels so, like, yeah, Battlecast, I was right. Pool Party Zach is just Zach but blue. Red Zach, oh my god, guys, that's Red SK1 Zach, guys. He's got a helmet and he's red, guys. It's like they're like trying, kind of. Though, part of me really wants that Cloud Zach that was shown in Empyrean. Pool Zach. Purple Zach. It's just, we're not looking too hot over here in the Zach.
Hey, you seeing this?
It's just a mess, really. I mean, like, I feel like they could have done, like, what's it called? A candy themed, skin line or whatever. What's it, not skin line, but, like, skin for Zach. I mean, taffy or bubblegum. I mean, like, Battlecast is still probably his best skin, because it's actually, like, the one that's put in there. But yeah, I don't know, like, why do we not have Space Screw Zach? I mean, like, Lava Lamp, it's, like, Lava Lamp just seems just no fucking brainer. Like, it's there is no Lava Lamp Zach that we have. It's just, like, such a no-brainer. I mean, like, Empyrean, you can kind of make a thing of, like, he's oil or something. But, like, no, that's not really it. I mean, like an oil-themed Zach would be fun. But yeah, I would rather him be, like, also this Cloud Zach in the Empyrean splash art, I'd much rather have than what we currently have. But I'm not a Zach fucking player. Okay. I mean, Twitch has really fun skins. He either has, like, kind of lazy ones or, like, really fun ones. I never really get Twitch as, like, I don't know why he's here in League. He has, like, no relevance to the fucking story at all. But, like, we just have a fucking rat. And you know what? Whatever. Like, Pickpocket Twitch, that's fun. High Noon Twitch, fun. He's a plague doctor. Dragon Slayer Twitch, he's a kobold. Twitch Shadowfoot, he's just a really cute mouse. But, like, Omega Squad, we didn't need Omega Squad Twitch. He's not a fucking Yordle. He was already kind of edgy. I mean, like, not that edgy. He was still a joke character, but, like, still, come on. You know, I'm gonna do Creation of Man, but with Senna. Okay. Yeah, that's what we're doing. But, like, no one is gonna use, like, Omega Squad Twitch. Kingpin Twitch is whatever. Vandal Twitch is fun. I've never seen anyone use the SSW Twitch before. Ice King Twitch is fucking great though. Like I do love Ice King Twitch. Wish she came back, because a Rat King is just a fun idea. I mean, come on. But whatever. Something is straight wrong.
There's emotion.
Let's see. But yeah, I like the fact that we've got like a weirdly Pyramid Head Twitch. That's fun. I don't know why we've decided to go that direction, but it's fun. Let's see. We got Durian Defender, Rammus. And, I mean, like, it's not the most mind-blowing thing, but, like, it makes sense. Because you don't see much of, like, Rammus besides the top of his head and stuff like that. Like, you don't really need to costume a Rammus skin. You just need to make the spikes and the rolling animation look cool. And like, it is funny that we haven't had like a plant-based Rammus skin, you know? He is what he wears. Exactly. I mean, like, also, Rammus doesn't have a very wide range of movement, so you do what you can with it. And having little gimmicks like that, make it work. Nude Rammus when. I don't, like, if he had the shell off, are you, like, just asking him to be, like, skinned? Is that what you're asking for? Like... Because, I mean, that's a little gruesome, if you think about it. How are those... What are those Final Fantasy mobs with, like, knife and a candle called? I can't remember the name. I bet he would look like that. I don't... like, I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't know Final Fantasy mob names. Tom Berries? Let me fucking look this up. Oh yeah, I can. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right. Oh god, that would be fun for like a Ramus skin. Just to go full on with the Final Fantasy reference. Give him a knife, give him a candle, give him a little robe. Have him roll around like that. Be funny. Let's see. So it was Twitch, Zack, Ramus, Orn. Was it only? No, I feel like it was 5 skins. Who was? Cho'Gath! That's what it was. Thank you. And it's by the same person that did the most recent Cho'Gath skin, Broken Covenant. It's crazy that they did both. Like, their range is pretty fun, right? And it's just so good. I mean, like, it's just such a good skin. Like, if Cho'Gath had a better model, I mean, like, Broken Covenant would be beautiful, it would be stunning, but it's just, you know, taken down by the fucking thing that Cho'Gath is. But like the little claws, because like it's a T-Rex trying to extend its reach. It's so cute. I mean, like, I enjoy, like, when toy skins try to look like toys. Like actual ones, instead of, like, just trying to be whatever, or whatever, you know? It doesn't make a ton of sense out of, like, context, but, it's like when they put, like, Alistar, like, Mukau, Alistar, Super Kennen, and Renekton into the same skin line universe. Even though, like, Mukau, Alistar, and Kennen they don't look like toys in any goddamn way. And their splash art never makes them look more like toys either. Like, if, like, Kennen looked like an action figure, or like a stuffed animal, that would be fun, that would be cute, you know? But they don't. They don't. It's a real shame. Because I do like toys, skin line ideas, you know? Even, like, what's it called? Like, the Raggedy Ann Poppy. Like, that's a really fun skin, you know? Makes her hammer a squeaky hammer. Like, that's just super fun. But I really just did, like, Orn is so good. I'm so happy that he's gotten a skin this soon, you know? I mean, I wish that they would have gone either with, like, he's a toy train, or that he's a conductor, picked one or the other. But I'm happy with the compromise or whatever. It's funny that he's like one of the most train looking skins, despite like many skins trying to be train skins. Like High Noon Scion and High Noon Mordekaiser are supposed to be trains, but they don't fucking look like trains. But yeah, I I want like I mean, there's just so many like good like ideas for orange skins that are out there, you know? Like I just wish that they like explored it more. Oh, you know, it would be fun if like Ornn and Kindred had like a swap of aesthetics or whatever. I mean, because I think it would be fun to have like a Forge kind of Freljord looking Kindred with like maybe a Volibear themed wolf. Like that would be fun, right? And wolf could be made with like thunderclouds and the like. I mean, like, I'm just making up shit, and like, I know that you don't want champions to look similar to each other, but like, it's also just kind of fun to like go for it, you know? I don't remember like skin line that I was like real happy about this year besides these April Fool's skins. Then you have things like definitely not Blitzcrank that makes it impossible to know what champion you are up against. Let me fucking see. I like definitely not, what's it called? Vel'Koz. That's really fun. I mean, that... It's funny. It's a funny. And... It is... I mean, it's kind of funny, I guess. Though... I always joke with a buddy telling him to stop getting hooked by Lux, for fuck's sake. I mean, it's... Guys, please stop getting Lux hooked. I'd kill myself. Nah. It's like whenever we see it on the loading screen, it's always the same stupid joke that never gets old. I mean, it is kind of funny. Who's that champion?
Audiences have been warned.
What's that melody? Oh, let's see. What happened? the Dragonmancer thing, Primal Ambush was Heaven's Gale. I didn't care for. Some of the High Noon skins were fun, you know. Didn't like the Porcelain lineup besides Aurelion Sol. It's kind of funny that, like, despite having a new model, like, a lot of Skarner's skins just have been fucked up or whatever. I don't know how else to say it, but, like, he kind of looks like a, what's it called? Like a TFT champion that just reached level 2 for some of these. Like, I like Guardian of the Sands Skarner a little bit, but, like, also his body's, like, way too, like, like, it's too dark purple or whatever. Like, and also I wish that he had, like, a traditional skin. And also Earthrune Skarner. I don't like how he looks. I don't. I wish that they kept anything like that. I think they are doing it out of spite. I really think that, because some of his old skins cost like 520 RP, so they just made it the most generic shit as possible. What's that fucking skin line with like the weird time traveling shit in it? And it's got like Twisted Fate and like Caitlyn in it. Is it Pulsefire? Yeah, he looks like Earthrune Skarner looks like a Pulsefire skin. That's exactly what he looks like. It's like, I mean, the only one they didn't fuck up is his legendary. Big shocker there, right? But like Battlecast, it looks nice. Very nice, very beautiful, right? It's nice that he's got new animations for that and stuff like that. Let's see. Sand Scourge just looks bad. Like it's like metal. It's just not like dark enough for it to be a High Noon skin. And it's also not demonic enough either. Like, come on. Actually go all the way, man. Don't be a fucking coward. It's just such a nothing skin. It's like, why did you do this? What, huh? See. Cosmic Skarner is also a little bit too dark to the point where you can't even see like the fun constellations on him, which is a little sad, you know. Also, it's funny that like we've got his voice lines now, and like Skarner's just fucking threatening a child in it. Like, bro, chill out. It's not that bad. It's not that serious. But he's got like major like beef with this guy. I mean, like it's weird. Why are you talking to him like that? He did nothing. He's just a little guy. I seriously don't like. I don't really get why Skarner is always put as such like an important character in like the storylines that he's been given, but like this is like the second time, well, you know, this is yeah, this is the second time it's happened where they changed his fucking story, and it's hey guys, this fucking Scorpion, yeah, he's really fucking important to the lore, and you're gonna like that, and everyone's just gonna have to deal with it. It's just I don't like. All right. I mean, sure, if we're doing it this way, but I don't understand why we are going to Ishtal anymore. Like, why are we doing this? Like, I don't see why we need like another giant fucking creature in Ishtal. I don't understand like where they're coming for in like a story department. Like, I'm like, they want like sort of a like, they don't like, he doesn't even talk about Piltover in his thing or whatever. He talks about the Void, which is important to Ishtal lore, right? But he does not ever talk about the Piltovan colonialism. He just doesn't. Does he just not care? Like, it's just, it's just I don't understand what's happening over at Riot. Like, they make him interact with Jax because he has something to do with the Jax has a lot to do with the Void, so like makes sense. Yeah. But like, yeah, I don't understand where we, like, Skarner was already big. Like, Skarner was already the size of a sedan when he was first released. That's how big he was supposed to be. But like, yeah, someone in Riot is less and less careful about their macrophilia. Like, I just don't, like, he doesn't have to be this big. How did they even paint him? How did he even get all these decorations on him if he's that fucking big? Like, it looks like he's like, he is bigger than several acres of forest. That's how fucking big he is. Like, I don't... But, I mean, like, there's always been, like, a weird scaling issue at Riot for a little bit now. Where, like, Scion is, like, shown sometimes to be the same size as fucking Galio. A goddamn statue. Like, someone needs to put... Someone at Riot really needs to put down height references for these fuckers. Like, have like a sheet or whatever, like a sizing sheet, you know? Because like, this is getting a little bit silly. This is getting a little bit ridiculous. I don't understand how this happened. How we got to this point. I like how Malphite is now like the correct size. He's become a mountain. He's a mountain size. That he was once like a shard of like Ishtal or something. Even though I don't care, like, no one cares about that. Like, no one cares that he's like part of like a floating structure or something. Like, everyone only cares about him being a dad. And you know what? If they want like an Ishtal storyline, which it seems like they do, I'm really confused as to what they're trying to even say here. Because it started with Kiana, and then we got more and more champion overhauls to fit this idea. But Kiana's whole thing is about, you know, being a fucking traitor. Well, not a traitor, but, you know, she's starting a coup. That is what she's doing. She's trying to start a coup because she thinks that she deserves it. And she also has a problem with the Piltover explorers that came around, or whatever. Shurima and Ishtal used to be one collective thing, but Ishtal isolated after the Void incident with all the fucking, with, like, Kathiar and shit, because they thought that the world was gonna end, and that kind of thing. But we never... It's not really... I think this, like, Piltovans encroaching on a land that thought that the rest of the world fucking died, like, that should be more of, like, a, I don't know, like, a bigger deal. That, like, what they've been told is a lie. And that society outside of Ishtali leadership hasn't completely, you know, gone up in smoke. But I don't know. That might just be me. There's cool ideas here. There's cool ideas. Don't get me wrong. It's just we're not doing anything here. I still can't comprehend why the fuck they introduced Ishtal when they can't even make do with the world they already had. I'm pretty sure it's because they were like, fuck, guys. Like, no region was, like, jungle-ish enough to accomplish what they wanted to do for a lot of champions. So they were just like, make a new region. I mean, it's weird that, like, Camivore, that, like, just appeared out of fucking nowhere, is, like, way, like, clearer of a nation, and, like, there's only, like, a few fucking champions from it. Like, what? It's Viego, Callista, Smolder, Hecarim, but I don't know. But then they did exactly that with Kasante's town, for example. Isn't that like a mini city in Shurima with jungle theme? Yeah, I mean, it is like it's a settlement, because Shurima isn't a nation, it's a continent, which is weird, because the continent and also the city, like the main governing body is called Shurima, which is just fucking confusing. Like, that's just kind of annoying. I wish that they had, like, a continent name that's not just Shurima, you know, that would be nice. Or, you know, call the Golden City something else. But, you know, that's another nitpick for another day, right? Because, like, we've got, the whole Valorant thing with, because Demacia and Noxus are on the same continent, but it's still Valorant instead of just calling the whole thing Demacia, and then Noxus is also in there. But I get it's kind of vaguely historical in the way that things are conquered or whatever, right? it is also weird to, like, because, like, there's things like cities, but there's also nations, and those are two separate things. Because it's funny that, like, Piltover, it's just a city. Piltover and Zaun, collectively, they are twin cities, but they are treated like entire regions because they are so entirely different, which is fun. It is fun. But yeah, I don't know why they didn't make it. I think that it was just so that they could focus more on one thing, but, like, man, for the love of God, the main thing I just want them to stop doing is putting champions in fucking Ionia. Please. You have too many. It's a nightmare. It's a goddamn nightmare. Because I see, like, I don't, like, Ishtal has, like, a weird problem with it, right? Because it didn't have too many champions, because it was only Kiana before people were, like, retroactively, like, added. But at least they're, like, kind of consistent with their themes of, like, colonialism and shit, right? But, like, with Ionia, we're out here, I'm not even sure if we're still fighting a fucking war or not. Are we still fighting a war with Noxus, or have the Noxians gone home? Because I can't tell. I know that we're at a civil war, technically, but it's like a cold civil war. And, like, also, like, most people don't even care about the cold civil war that's going on right now. And most champions have fucking nothing to do with that. Like, Yone, Yasuo, don't care. I don't know what's going on. Like, I mean, there's more people in a region, you know, and there's Vistaya, and it's also, like, the oldest region, but, like, I feel like I'm hoping, it's funny that, like, the smallest bits and pieces of Runeterra are the most clear and defined. Well, it's just kind of how stories go, right? Because that's how it is. But, like, you know what the fuck, you know exactly what's going on in Bilgewater. You know exactly what's happening in Piltover and Zaun. Demacia, very easy to understand. Noxus, fucking colonialism. But also, like, that shit's fucked up because of LeBlanc. I mean, if LeBlanc was not in this goddamn story, I feel like things would have been salvaged a long time ago. But, like, also it's fun that she's such a bitch. I mean, like, it is fun. And I'm not gonna lie. Right? But, like, Christ. And then there's champions that don't even have, like, a select location. They're just like, yeah, they're just writing their bios. They're traveling the world right now. I mean, like, it's all well and good that you wanted to release a champion, right? But, like, if you want all of the characters to have lore significance, you kind of need characters to, you know, interact with one another in meaningful ways that are relevant to their themes. But I don't know. Right. It's out here doing whatever the fuck. And to be honest,
When you're launching a new product with a
like, you can just do a thing with, like how they did Cassante or whatever is a pretty nice way of incorporating things or whatever, right? Even though Xerath is completely mischaracterized or whatever, right? At least there is some semblance of, like, growth that you can take this character in. You can see this character, like, fighting alongside other characters in, like, a big battle in Shurima or whatever. Like, that, like, you can imagine that. That's, like, a viable thing. But, like, then we've got things like Hui or whatever, and, well, like, the Jin thing with him, that's fun. I don't know where the story wants to go with him, and I don't think writers know what to do with him either, to be quite honest. Because, sure, like, art does inspire, like, generations of people, and, like, Ionia is a very artistic region. It's just, I don't... Outside of that one relationship, there isn't anything that is happening there. I mean, sure, you can make connections within the story of, like, Hui meets X or whatever, right? But I mean, like, sure, you can't have like, knowing other characters be a prerequisite in order for, like, them to, like, mean something to the story, but they should mean something to someone. They should impact the world in some way. They should, you know, be a force that influences how things are. And then there's, like, the Yordles or whatever. Like, Vex was really well implemented into the whole, what's it called, Sentinels of Light thing. Like, for as awful as that fucking thing was, Vex was actually, like, weirdly well added, or whatever. She fit the story's themes. She fit what was going on in the general sense. Her decisions mattered in that story.
when enamel is gone, you cannot get it back.
But then it's like, what's it called? When we get to other Yordles that aren't, like, figureheads of societies or whatever, you start to run into... You, like, run into several problems, as I feel. I think, like, Rumple and Lulu are, like, the most egregious examples of, like, the story just not knowing how to use or handle them in any fucking way. Like, Tristana interacts with the story in a meaningful way. She is trying to protect her home, and she is alienating others because of her intense desire to do so. And she is dedicated to that cause, and that is a very clear, path and story for her. She can get worse. She can grow. There's an arc there. There's themes to be gleaned from that. You can do things with it, is what I'm saying. But with Lulu, her story is entirely disconnected with everything else. Unless they go somewhere with the fucking Glade thing, which it's never brought up ever again. Like, her lore as it is very moot, as it were. She's better as, like, a foil for Tristana and that kind of thing, rather than being a character in her own story. And, which is sad, but, you know, you need side characters, right? But, like, if Lulu's whole thing or story was about how she feels disconnected and isolated from Yordle society, how their sameness and their complacency has caused her to essentially be a sort of pariah because of the way that she is, the way that her magic is, that kind of thing. That's a cool idea. There's story to be had there. If Bandle City was about how that felt or whatever, the way that, like, uniquer Yordles usually bounce or leave because of the things in Bandle City or whatever, that would be like, that would make a story, you know, worth something or whatever. That individuality that Yordles seem to hold dear to their chest would be gone or whatever. And then, like, Rumble, like, Rumble is both in Shurima and in Noxus, and it doesn't ever talk about, like, his actual interesting shit, which is his relationship to Teemo and his relationship to Heimerdinger, in which he feels insecure and beneath them, and how he is deeply troubled by that. It's just such an easy way to go, but they don't fucking do that. They just continue to invent shit to do for him instead of just finding the obvious solution. It's like they are writing in circles around there, and it's just sad, really. I mean, like, as much as I hate Rumble, he's a little incel, right? I mean, like, they should stop making Rumble try to seem cool, or whatever, yeah. Also, the problem with Yordles is most of them are tech savvy, so you end up putting them all in Piltover and Zaun, or you need to keep them in Limbo, aka Bandle City, because otherwise you're throwing out the notion that most of Runeterra is medieval level technology. And, like, that would be, like, it would be so cool if they just addressed that or whatever. Like, the fact that, like, newer Yordles are becoming more and more tech reliant, whereas the older generations of Yordles are much more, like, you know, actual Runeterra based or whatever, and how as people come back from Runeterra, Bandle City is more and more transformed by that. How by leaving and coming back, Bandle City is becoming less and less magical and becoming more and more human. That would be an actual interesting and cool idea, because you can see it with, like, the way that a lot of, like, besides Heimerdinger, all of the older Yordles do not use technology in any way. Like, Vhagar, Kled, Poppy, Kennen, Corki, technically, they don't use technology. Whereas the younger side of Yordles, besides magic casters, have to rely on that because they want to feel safe or whatever. And, like, that would be a cool idea too. And I'm just making shit up. But, like, we aren't doing anything about that. We're not going to explore the fact that this like, little race of, like, gnomes or whatever, this tiny fluffy race is very magically dependent, and if you're not magically capable, then like, the best you could hope for was a crutch of some kind. But also, it should be weird that a lot of Yordle champions are using technology. It should be a weird thing or whatever, but it seems like it's not an abnormal thing or whatever. Like, it's also because they don't have any lore, but, like, Corki, like, they have magic. Why would he need a plane to fucking fly, right?
Remarkable experiences reside beyond.
Like, touch on that or whatever. Like explore the fact, like, that, like, there's older and younger immortals in this society that you have or whatever. I think that, like, having Corki be, like, a veteran that came back to Vandal City to enjoy the rest of his golden years, that could be a fun concept, you know? And that it would explain why Tristana's close to him, because he has experience with combat in Runeterra or whatever. Like, that would be such a fun little plot point or whatever. Like, that could be so fun. But we don't get that because they don't want to do anything with Vandal City. I don't know what they were doing in Vandaltale, but Vandaltale was just from the, the cutscenes that I watched. It was more about rebuilding Vandal City and that kind of thing, and interests and stuff like that, which is all fine and dandy, right? But, like, it doesn't fucking explain shit. It really doesn't. I hope that when we get Teemo's ASU, that we get an update to his bio. That we get, like, an update on him specifically, because I feel like him being, like, the model Yordle citizen, that could be a fun contrast to, like, how Rumble and Lulu are viewed. Like, that could be fun. I don't... And, like, you can also have it be that, like, Teemo is extremely tired of putting up a front or whatever, because he is such a, like, a prominent figure in their community that, like, teaches the younger Yordles the importance and beauty of nature. Like, that, like, the really young Yordles or whatever. Because like, how things change over centuries, that's a very cool concept to, like, explore, because Vandal City, besides that point, is entirely lawless and timeless. We don't know how Yordles are educated. We don't know Yordle values. We don't know anything, really. Besides, like, some one-off lines that don't really tell us anything. And it's frustrating. Of course it is. I want to take this concept and, like, make it better. Like, do something with it. But at the same time, it's not like my, like, little fan interpretations are gonna suddenly influence Riot or whatever. But it's neither here nor there. It's a fucking video game, and I can steal them and do whatever I want. I can ignore canon as much as I want. I can do whatever, because it really seems like they don't care about the characters that they continuously create and then throw away. I also like the idea that, like, I like my whole, like, Vagar is like a celestial that turned himself into, like, a Ural or whatever. Fucking fell down and just day one started lying to humans. But no one fucking believed him. But, you know, I like when my faves are more important than they actually are, or whatever. Even things that aren't even, like, in canon or whatever. Like, how I think that it would be fun if Lulu and Rumble had, like, a brother-sister relationship, where they tease each other, and, like, Rumble is sort of, like, known around, like, the people that go out and the gunners as, like, kind of a grump or whatever, and how Lulu is way too silly for her own good, but she can be strong. Like, you know, but we don't, that's not what we're getting, or whatever. And even when we get something, like, really important, like how Poppy is essentially, like, living history for Demacia, we don't get much from her. Like, tackling that kind of, like, her grief and stuff like that, that would be such a, like, an interesting topic, or whatever. You can even make her interact with fucking Lux. I don't even care. Just, like, it's just... I mean, this problem's been in League since forever. And really, the only people that have been, like, recently really fucking spoiled is Piltover and Zon fans. And for very select champions, right? Those are the people that are eating the fucking best in the goddamn world. And it's sad. It really is. I'm so incredibly jealous of like, of my Jinx and Vi and Caitlyn mains. Like, God, I wish that were me. I wish that my champions were at all, like, at least, like, that they did anything close to that for them, or whatever. Give them Ruin King style stuff, anything. Like, it's just so, it's just so sad. But it's maybe once League is really fucking done with like the Mordekaiser, and they just go, hey guys, it's time for Mordekaiser. We'll start to have something with Vhagar, but you know, it's sad. It really is. The themes. I love themes so much. And I wish that Riot cared about stories. Riot, why did you do this? I mean, like, seriously, like, I don't... They just decided, nah, no more. Stories don't make us money. They just keep our fan base happy. And they... If it wasn't for LOR and those stories, I would not be as invested in League as I am today. I really wouldn't be. And that's the truth of the matter. Really, it is. I don't think that I am going to... I think that I'm gonna outline this in white and call it a fucking day, man. I'm crying. I'm crying in the club. It's been a rough one. It's been a rough... well, ever since he released, it's been a rough one. I think it would be easier if, like... It's funny that, like, in in League lore or whatever, like, Rumble's, like, super, like, patriotic for Bandle City and that kind of thing. But nowhere in his design does it make it clear that, like, he's even Bandle City affiliated. Like, you would mistake him for being a Yordle that went to, like, Zaun or Piltover because of the way that he's, you know, like, his whole mech and the way that he's dressed. I mean, like, he's a Yordle, yeah, but there's nothing really else that, like, ties him back to his, like, home country, which is, like, strange, you know? I mean, they've gotten a lot better at designing Yordles over the years. Which, thank God, you know? But, you know, man, those first few were real flops.
Someone that suffers
What
from
is
having
happening? Oh, gee, Heimer was scary. Yeah, it was a... He was a beast! Beyond proportions. I mean, like, I know how that got into the game. It's just... It's funny that, like, his visual update after all these years still holds up pretty well because of, like, his exaggerated movements and just the fact that he's just, like, way cuter. He's just so much better than the original that everyone just had to accept it. To be fair, he probably wasn't a Yordle on release. Yeah, Heimerdinger I don't think was on release, though Yordle meant something a little bit different to, like, League at that time, too. It just meant, like, small race, really. Because, like, Tristana and Poppy weren't in the, like, Yordle subcategory. They were Meglings beforehand, so, like, they had no reason to, like, combine these like, mixed elements into the game. Really, Teemo is what decided how other Yordles looked from that point on. He was the gold standard, essentially. They were like, okay, Yordles are fluffy guys. And that's what happened there, or whatever. But yeah, like, Corgi wasn't really... I mean, these were also, like, mostly taken from, you know, their, like, archetypes beforehand. So, you know, Heimerdinger was a mad scientist, and Corki's still Corki, but, you know, he's, you know, he's a little guy, a little old guy in a plane. And that's the way it was. Until they were like, hey guys, what if we made Bandle City? And everyone was like, okay. And they just went with that. I mean, like, I'm sure that it was the conversation was probably a lot more, there was a lot more words in that conversation. And it probably wasn't phrased that way, you know? But, you know, what Bandle City was as a whole thing really wasn't totally cemented until like the what's it called? The lore overhaul, where everyone had to have like little bios and stuff and that kind of thing. I mean, League is kind of just the definition of making shit up as you go. But, you know, a lot of that shit that was made up was pretty fucking cool. And still is. I mean, there's still, like, something there. It still captures the souls of players, even though they don't want to fucking be here because it's League of Legends. But they have to stay because it's League of Legends. It's a real hard spot they're in. But you know what? Arcane Season 2, baby! Let me fucking see Ziggs. Let me see him. He's like really fucking important to Heimerdinger and Jinx. Put him in. Put him in. I know you're putting in Warwick. But put Ziggs in. I don't even care. Put Ziggs in. Put him in. Even as like a reference. I mean, more than a reference, I would hope, right? But, you know, I can't be a choosing beggar over here. Sorry, I pencil. Also, we're still not clear if Glamour is still not canon or not, because the LOR cards, what's it called? Like, it's, like, there's like an LOR Glamour card in there that was released a little bit after the Arcane is legal post or whatever from Riot itself. But we're not sure what's happening over there. Also, it's funny to me that the reason why Corki looks the way he does in Bandletail, instead of his Don't Mess With Yordles design, is because Bandletail was coded before that short was released. Which, I mean, to be fair, makes sense with, like, how tedious and long games take to code, but still, you could have just switched out sprites. He doesn't have that many. But I guess they just didn't care that much and had a deadline, so things like that aren't as important as actual game things. But still, it's weird. also, I think that what's it called? The little headcanon that, Heimerdinger and the Stilted Rope Maker are siblings. Like, that's always been one of my favorite little headcanons or whatever, because they look a little bit similar. I mean, it's probably not true, but man, is it fun to think about, right? Because it also just creates a bunch of situations that are just inherently funny. So even though things like that aren't ever going to be canon, I can still be like, yeah, Stilted Rope Maker and Heimerdinger are siblings. It's not like they're gonna... A writer under my post will go, no, that's incorrect. Fuck you. Because, I mean, like, it's not that big of a deal. Though it is pretty funny that we've never seen another black-furred Yordle besides Vhagar. And I don't count his lightning mage, because the way that he got that fur color is by being burnt. His fur being burnt to a crisp by lightning. That is the explanation behind that. So, I just think, like, Vhagar being, like, the sussest Yordle that's ever existed is just really fucking funny. Just to have him be, like, also, it's just funny because he's, like, the worst liar that you could possibly have, and everyone just kind of goes along with it because he's just, like, he is the cutest Yordle. By, like, a mile stretch, he is the cutest one. Like, it does not matter, he is the cutest one. It's not even close. So Vhagar is cute, you say? I mean, yeah, he is. It's you drawing him as God in the meantime. It's more like because he's a celestial and Senna's a human. Well, in my own opinion, I think it's way funnier if he's a celestial in a Yordle's body who cannot get out of said Yordle's body anymore. And it is just kind of LARPing as a Yordle. I think that's really fucking funny. Are you kidding me? Yes, I came from Bandle City. Yeah, sure. I did not fall from the sky. And if you did not see that because it was 50,000 years ago. And you would be lying. Because you are not that old, Senna. I know how old you are. But yeah, I mean, like, am I wrong? Am I wrong that he's cute? I mean, like, it's mostly, like, the gap moe of it all, right? But also, it's just his general attitude and the way that he is. Just, like, if I really wanted, like, a second place, like, category, because a lot of people say that Gnar's cute, which I get, but, like, he's really fucking annoying. But you know who, like, I also think that Fizz is just, is really cute because of his LOR voice lines. Like, I think that's just so fun. Like, he's just such, like, a little fucking baby, or whatever. And, like, the audio drama of him, like, what's it called? Fizz in the audio drama, picks up the tithe that was supposed to go to, the sea, and takes it back to the human that dropped it because he thinks that, you know, the human forgot his money. Which is hilariously sad because it caused his fucking ship to crash. Sure, whatever. But it's so, I mean, it's cute. I mean, like, characters that, like, actively try to be cute are not cute. It's a paradox, or whatever. But it's kind of like, how stuffed animals are designed, or whatever. Like, I'm not gonna, like, automatically assume something is cute just because it is designed to elicit that reaction from me. But, like, Vhagar just kind of, like, doubles back on it. He's like, he is, the way that he tries and the way that he exudes his like his personality is just, it's really so sweet. It's so cute. 'Cause yeah, sure, he's a fucking walking nuke. He is one of the most powerful beings on Runeterra, disregarding any of the, like, celestial allegations or whatever, right? Like, he can wipe out entire armies just by fucking snapping his goddamn fingers. But he's not gonna do that because well, not because of any moral obligations. No, it's because he wants to show off. He wants to put on a show. And he also wants to leave survivors to tell people about how cool that thing he just did was. Which is, like, that is such, like, a fun, track of logic, you know? That is just, I mean, like, that is just so fun. I don't know. I mean, it's a little obvious, sure, but, you know. He won't stop until he controls the tri-state area. I mean, technically he is in a tri-state area. You're not even fucking wrong about that. He's just that good. He's just that fucking good. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm not gonna find, like, Teemo cute, cause Teemo isn't cute. He's just fucking boring, you know? To be cute, to me, you have to have, like, a semblance of, like, a personality. A Bandle Scout? Teemo the Bandle Scout? I mean, yeah, he's not... He puts on his goddamn helmet. Changes everything. His stupid little helmet is ridiculous. I hate it. I hate that, like, most of the creatures in Bandle City have goggles. Like, they just decided that they needed them all. They just all decided at the same time that they needed goggles. Let's see. Like, it's Teemo, it's Rumble, it's Tristana, It's Corky, it's Heimerdinger, it's Ziggs. I mean, the only ones without decorative goggles are Vagar, Kled. Yeah, Ezreal does have a line for it, and it's very fun. I am so happy that Poppy does not have decorative goggles. I'm so happy that Kled doesn't have them. I'm so grateful to any Yordle design that doesn't have them, because goddamn, you do not need them, you little rats. I mean, like, I feel like Tristana would have decorative goggles because, you know, she throws safety to the wind or whatever. A lot of these characters do, in fact, probably use decorative goggles or whatever. Like, they are a thing or whatever. But Teemo? Fucking Teemo? Like, why does he need goggles? He like, nowhere in, like, I guess for poison things, but you would need a gas mask. You wouldn't need goggles. It's like, it's not, like, it's, like, it's just, I don't, just get rid of Teemo's fucking goggles. I mean, seriously. I know he's way too iconic, and they're never going to get rid of them, but, like, seriously. What are they there for? Like, Tristana is definitely a character that wouldn't use goggles, but has them because she, like, she's military, she has blast protection that doesn't protect, that kind of thing. She's very much, like, that kind of aesthetic person. Those work for her. Heimerdinger and Ziggs, those fit. Also, I don't want to see Ziggs' eyes. Those are creepy. But, like Rumble, it also makes sense. Like, the Inventing Trio makes sense that they have goggles because they are, you know, inventors or whatever. But I also think that it would be way nicer if Rumble, like, tried to distinguish himself from Ziggs and Heimerdinger, you know, give him a welding mask on top of his little fuzzy head, you know? That could be fun. I don't know. Yeah, that works. I'm so glad that Lulu doesn't have decorative goggles, you know? I always like that trait from Ziggs. Even though he's a reckless bomb guy, he has a full bomb suit with a helmet and shit. Like, that is fun. That, like, he still takes like it's so much fun because it, like, shows you that, like, he has serious he's a serious inventor and he knows his stuff, but he is still that reckless, crazy kind of person. I mean, like, he's not crazy. It's a common misconception that, like, Ziggs is crazy, but he's not. It's just that he's just, you know, enthusiastic and manic rather than crazy. But yeah, I mean, like, it's a fun detail that Ziggs uses, like, adequate protection for the thing that he's doing. Like, that's a good trait from him. It's a clear, like, characterizing thing about him, or whatever. Just like how it characterizes Tristana, or whatever. How she also uses goggles, but she doesn't use them correctly. She has all the equipment, but she still doesn't care as much about herself as much as shooting bad guys with a big fucking gun. Like, that's a fun use of personality. It's a fun use of, like, using clothing to characterize someone. It's how you should be costuming your characters. But with, like, I think the only one that doesn't fit with this is Teemo. He's never going to use those goggles for anything. There's nothing natural that needs them. It's not good for poisons. It's just not, overall, it's a useless bit of, like, decor that says nothing about him, whatever. It is strictly cosmetic. It is just something, it's a detail that takes up space on his character. But on the other hand, there's Rumble, who doesn't have really anything. He doesn't have, like, yeah, I mean, like, he has a fucking bare chest, which is really fucking funny, because everyone else wears a shirt. It's not like Ural males just, like, have their shirt off. Like, even, like, the craziest of crazies don't have their fucking shirt off. But, like, Teemo just decides that it's time that that he just does that. But yeah, I don't know. One of the victims of the endless list of male champions without their shirt on. So sad. I mean, like, that could have characterized him in any goddamn way. Like being proud to show off his body. Like, anything, really. But no, it's just because you want to make sure that people know that he's a fluffy little thing. But let's see. With Rumble, there is about 0 costuming on him. Well, there is costuming on him, but Rumble, by contrast, is just wearing a t-shirt and pants. It's not, like, it's just like a t-shirt with some gold accents or whatever. It doesn't tell you anything about him. He has oven mitts. Like, Teemo and him both have oven mitts, which, I mean, like, it would make sense because, like, you know, Rumble is handling a really hot machine that overheats quite often, but I feel like he'd need more of his fingers to operate his device. It's like, it's something, alright, but it doesn't really, I don't understand what we're supposed to, like, understand from that. Like, I get that most of Rumble's character design and character space is taken by a mech. So he can't be too busy because you are looking at the mech and not him as a conscious being or whatever, but most people are caring about the character, not the mech. I mean, sure, you should make the mech more Bandle City-like, make it more fairy-like. Actually go ahead and, like, make it look like it's been salvaged by a bunch of different regions or whatever. Like, that could be cool. But there's no substance with Rumble. Like, his punk hairstyle tells you a little bit about him. It tells you that he's angry and that he is against most of the system of, like, Bandle City or whatever. But also, because he's one of the few Bandle City champions, it actually doesn't really show anything. He doesn't seem all that transgressive in the grand scheme of things. It's because that could just be a regular hairstyle in Bandle City. We have no idea. But, like, the main thing is that, like, it's trying to tell you one thing. But you don't really, there's no character in that. Which is sad, you know? I mean, like, even with Lulu's decade-old model, you can still get the fact that she's supposed to be, like, this manic pixie dream girl. I mean, not manic pixie, but, like, she's supposed to be that random kind of girl that's like, oh, this is so quirky and crazy. Like, that is the kind of character she was built up to be. And it's very in line with the scene, like, when League was originally, you know, formed, when it was originally, released, where that kind of humor took precedent, or whatever. She is that quirky online scene girl. Even though that's not exactly what she is, it's close. Which is a weird sentence to say out loud, but it's true. That's what she is from a character design. Well, that's what she is from a meta perspective. From a character perspective, she is giving sort of Raymond vibes or whatever. You get twisted, quirky, witchy, gnome-ish kind of lady or whatever. That is what you are getting there. And it fits her character well, which is why she doesn't actually need all that much changing in the grand scheme of things. It's just that she needs an update. And she needs an update to her sort of story. Where is she supposed to go? What is she supposed to do? But for all intents and purposes, she's a female joke character. I mean, most Yordles fall under joke characters. That is essentially what they are. In the grand scheme of things, it is, they have a punchline. For most of them, they have like a setup and a punchline to them or whatever. It's apparent with, like, even more serious champions like Poppy or whatever. Her whole thing is that she can't realize that she's the hero. And she's way too humble to ever associate that with herself. That's the joke. Colette's whole thing is being Yosemite Sam. That kind of thing. That is the joke. But it doesn't stop them from also being characters. Which is smart. But, like, we also kind of, like, the older Yordles need to feel that too, you know? So, like, when they updated Tristana, she was the overly competitive, sort of, like, tomboyish character. That is, like, that's her joke setup. And I don't mind them being set up after jokes. It's just that, you know, should at least be funny. I don't know. And for most of them, they are. But some of them just, they have aged kind of poorly. I mean, mostly Lulu's the one that aged the worst. Because that type of humor died. I mean, like, it hasn't died for some people, but for most of the population that is, like, they aren't with the lol so random cheese, Icon has cheeseburger sort of, memes or whatever. Alright. I have been talking for a bit now, and I don't want to fucking color this. Though it is kind of cute, right? 1 inch of fucking snow, that's crazy. Anyway, this is coming Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I am going to be streaming for this, affiliate. So please, if you can, I'd really love to see you on a stream with me or whatever. Help me get to affiliate. Of course, let's see. I'm gonna definitely be doing Puzzle Agent and a couple of other things. But it'll be fun. It will be fun. Also, thank you. Thank you, Mara. I am gonna call it a night, folks. I'll see you again Monday. I hope that you have a good rest of your night, a good rest of your day, a good rest of your evening. I'll see you next time. Technically, I'll see you next week. With that, I'll bid you adieu, guys. Have a good night. Bye.